teams, and I don't view CDEC as a greedy team at all. I think they have, the typical group around together and a very tightly knit chemistry and teamwork, and that's not very easily punishable by a Clinks. So I think they should shy away from that. I did not like their triple invis strategy, the Clinks, Bounty Hunter, plus Treant Protector. I also think that's probably a no-go for them. Aside from that, I mean, it's just the standard, and of course they need to be flexible as the draft goes on. It's a 2-game series, so even if they drop one, they still get a good feel out for their opponent. And this is an opponent, again, they have not faced. And EG in Group B hasn't faced many of their opponents, and this is why they're not undefeated, I feel like. They take time to adapt, to grow, to learn from their opponents and learn from their mistakes. And if they drop game 1, I'm very confident in them in game number 2. But it's just a matter of how generic of a strat. It's generally like a Naga plus, something safe. Maybe an anti-mage to delay the game, maybe a Darkseer for the combo plus holding the high ground. These are the stable strats that I'm looking for EG to run.
Yeah, and now let's talk a little bit bigger picture going forward. As we wait for these teams to prepare for their match, Dakota, one thing we discussed briefly yesterday was, all right, so if you're in the top 2 of Group B, no matter which team comes out on top, would you, maybe it does depend, of course, which team you are, EG or CDEC, but would you rather play against Complexity or C9, right? Because if you're EG, maybe you know C9 better, maybe, or at the same time, you just don't like that matchup because C9 games can go very long, and you're not sure how that always ends up. But Complexity, a little bit of a wild horse coming in.
Yeah. That's actually hard to say, especially with Complexity being able to 2-0 C9 today. I don't know how much value a team like CDEC or EG look into that. I want to say a team like EG might just go forward with Complexity. Just maybe it's a team they're probably used to scrimming against a bit. I don't know if they've given Complexity the leisure of scrimming with them a whole lot, but it's probably something they're going to be a lot more comfortable with going into, seeing what they expect. Complexity seem to be very good at adapting to what teams like EG and Secret pull out, so maybe EG feel like they're going to be one step ahead with that kind of game plan and would rather expect to see something that they'll be familiar with than the unexpected.
Who would CDEC rather pick, though?
I don't know.
Because they're far more likely to get first, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just winning one of the 4 games. Or
it's really difficult. I think one of Cloud9's strengths going into a tournament is how volatile they are. It can be great and it can be bad, but it makes them a very unattractive pick for this kind of situation where you could be like, is that good or bad for them in this situation? Maybe they would rather meet CDEC, right? But CDEC are like, we actually don't want to play Cloud9, and they end up against one of their, I don't know what the plural of Nemesis is. Nemesi? Did you say that? I don't know. Now you do.
I actually don't know. Good question.
You end up against EG, and generally EG and Secret are the 2 teams that Cloud9 tend to struggle the most against. And, well, if